All right. You want to make money in trucking, and for the most part, it's fairly simple. But today, we're going to talk about that as what I know. I'm not telling you I'm an expert. I'm just telling you, A, what worked for me, B, what is my opinion, and I don't want you to believe me, but I'm going to tell you my view since so many people has asked me and they want me to say something about it. So today, we're going to talk about how to make money in trucking on the Trucker Brown channel. All right, listen. This cannot be explained to you in one-liners. Do you understand? This is something that has to be explained to you in stages. Because the reason why I believe that it has to be put out in stages, because you're in different stages of trucking. It's just what it is. So if someone, the level of low, tells you how to make money in trucking and you're not nowhere near that level, it doesn't pertain to you. Okay? You're not a big dog as of yet. With lack of a better word, you're not a big dog yet. So the lens that he's looking through trucking, it ain't your lens. Let's get that out the way. You know, at the end of the day, all drivers are not created equal on how to make money in trucking. Depending on what stage you're in is what it's gonna apply to you. So stage one, we're gonna talk about the people just getting in. Okay, these are the people who may just be getting off of a trainer's truck, their first 4 to 6 months driving. This what the first stage is gonna be about. It's gonna be about you guys. So stop. The number one thing, stop biting off. I don't want to count because I'm never going to keep up with the count, but stop biting off more than you can chew. You're not at those levels. You have to take the understanding that you're not that level of driver yet. So it's cool to take in that information, but if you're trying to apply that information directly to you before you have all the things you need to apply it to that level of driver, or a level of fleet owner, or a level of person who has that kind of money in the bank, or has that kind of credit, or has that kind of business credit, that many years on that LLCs to be able to acquire trucks, you don't need to try to apply those rules to you. Now, it is something good you can watch and say, I want to get there one day, but don't think you're going to apply it to you because it's not for you yet. That's for, not for freshmen, strictly for live men. If you ain't got the clientele, say hell no. Like, you know what I mean? Like that's for the elite driver, you would say, who has his stuff together. Now you're just getting out of the trainer's truck. They're gonna give you a truck. They're gonna give you a book on the rules, a regulation book. They're gonna give you 3 cone triangles. They're going to give you a fuel card. They're going to slap you on your katukish and you're at the door. At this point, hopefully you're getting paid by the mile. You're getting paid by the mile right now. You're not getting paid flats. Okay? In my opinion, okay, you should be getting paid a flat CPM. We're not talking lease yet. We're talking company driver out the gate. I do not agree or I'm not interested in you being a brand new driver and you going to some place that has some weird sliding scale flat rate depending on distance. Screw all of that. To me, if it's complicated, and this is a rule in trucking, maybe even in life, if it is complicated, it's complicated for a reason. As my grandma would say, the devil's in the details. So when they start hitting you with the sliding scales and all this other extra stuff, stop it right there. You're not interested. You want a flat CPM. Now, the way you search for a job with this flat CPM, or to know if you're in a good job, you need to figure out what does an average, on average. Now, how an average is done. Averages is you take a series of numbers, you hit it somewhere in the middle around where people usually hit. The calculation you're going to use, okay, is 2,500 miles. Because you should at least be able to hit that amount of miles. You should at least be booked are loaded for that many miles. Now, you may say, I can do 3,000, 3,400. Yes, that's cool. But we're just trying to find a good, safe average for you to do the calculation before you know if I'm at a decent place or am I going to a decent place for the level that I am in. Okay? Now, they're going to hit you with you're just going to say, okay, scratch everybody that's not a flat CPM. They're going to hit you with a CPM. They're going to say, all right, you come here. Let's just use the league. Let's just use Prime, 44 cents a mile. I think it is. It could have went up. It's went up 3 times since I've been dealing with them. So it's probably 45 or something like that. I don't know. But we're just going to use, you know what? Let's just use 40 cents. Okay? The first piece of information you're going to get about this company is that it is 40 cents a mile. Oops, wrong button. Bomb, forgot about it. Now, you're going to go to your calculator. You're going to say, oh, 40 cents a mile. You did a low average because everything over that, because you can do over 2,500 miles a week. That's all gouda glanja. That's all good. That's sweet meat. That's all good sweet meat. That's good if you hit it, but you're basing your stuff off 25. So you're going to take your 2,500. You're going to times it by 40 cents. That's going to hit you at $1,000. Okay? And these are gross numbers. Depending on your state, child support situation, how much you decided to withhold on your W-2 form, that's all your business. This is gross numbers. You take it to you and apply it to you, okay? And how many kids you got, how many of them need insurance, and then your insurance is a certain amount of money. We're talking raw numbers right here. That's $1,000 at the basic number you should be able to hit if you suck, which is 2,500 miles. Okay? You're going to times that by 4. That's going to get you at 4. You're going to times that by 2. That's $48,000 a year. Okay? That's if you only got paid off of miles. Only. We're going to get into the other stuff in a minute. Calm down, all right? That's if you only get paid by miles. That's what you know, that's around $1,000 a week is what you're gonna make. As a company driver, you're just getting out here. There's a lot of reasons why you ain't pulled that 2,500 up. You understand? It's gonna take a minute to pull that 2,500 up. Now, there's ways you can do it, and we're going to discuss those ways. Number one of the first ways to pull that number up is understanding how you get paid. So when they tell you if the wheels ain't turning, you ain't earning, that's gobbledygook. That's not a thing. That's not real. If you think in that way, that put blinders on your face, and now you're not thinking of all of the other pays that comes with a truck, because a trucker gets paid a couple of different ways. Now, you're a company driver, right? So if that truck breaks down, you get paid. Okay? A truck probably breaks down, we'll say every 3 months if you're taking care of it. Who knows? Something small, you know? So it probably take you 4 or 5 days. We'll call it 3.5 days to fix. We're going to use a hot round number. We're going to say 100 a day. Now, I've heard 150. I've heard 250. I've heard 50. We're going to hit it at 100, okay? 100 a day, all right? Okay, so if we go on the average of a truck breaking down every 3 months, something small, it could be something small like a fuse here, fuse there. Depending on its newest warranty, so they're not going to get you at the first day, they're going to fix it in 1 hour. We're going to call, this is just worst case scenario for a brand new truck. We'll say every 3 months, you're going to stop your company, so you're not paying for it. They're paying for your hotel, and they're paying you 100 a day. Okay, so you're going to take 100 times 3. Okay, that's going to be about $300 extra for that breakdown. Now, this is the problem. You stop running, so you lose those miles. You understand how that works? So you didn't get those miles. Now, your company may be different, and they may give you those miles or whatever they're going to do. The pay you get from sitting, they're not going to just give it to you. That's a lie. Let me take a break right here, honestly. Let me take a break. Okay. In trucking, They're trying to screw you. Now, there's a soft, sweet meat attack, and then there's a subtle thigh meat attack. Okay, now the soft, subtle, sweet meat attack is, if you don't ask me, I'm not gonna give it to you. If you don't understand the rules of engagement for getting this pay, because they may tell you, for you to get breakdown pay, you have to show something of when they released you and when they took the truck in. There's all type of ways to subtle thigh meet you out that money. You see what I'm saying? So what you got to understand is, you need to ask. Truck breaks down, they send you to a hotel, you talk to the DM, you need to say, how do I ensure I get my breakdown pay, and how much is my breakdown pay, which you should know, because you should have got your pay card off the internet when you first started working with them. He's going to tell you some words, blah, blah, blah. Okay, that's cool. Now, ask him, how does it show up on my settlement? What does it say? Because it's not going to spell out breakdown pay. They're not going to use that many letters. It's going to be some weird BRK reimbursement, something. It's going to say something like that. Now, once he tells you that, write it down. That's cool. You're going to be here for 3 days. You're going to get that $300. Now, that doesn't add up to what it would be if you're running. But if you're the guy that never ask and check, you lost that $300. You see how that works? So now your check is a little bit smaller. So let's say a check you probably would have got $800. But if you're the lazy guy that don't think of other ways he gets paid, you lost 3. That's 8, 7, 6, 5. Now you hitting up on a $500 check. And you're pissed off and you're mad. You see how that goes? All right, moving on amicably. Now, that's breakdown pay. Now you gotta understand that when I was at Melton, they had snowed in pay. Yeah, they snowed in, can't move, or the interstate pay down. Melton Truck Lines paid us $100 a day for that. I think it was $100. Someone who works for Melton, tell me what it is. Put it at the bottom. $100 a day for that. I was driving, I think it was Idaho. We'll just say Idaho, because I probably don't remember it so many years ago. I'm driving on one of these crazy highways, and 20 miles ahead of me, an avalanche covers the highway. It takes them 3 days to clear the highway. They put me in a hotel, and they paid me blah, blah, blah day. I sat there for a while, talked to a guy, and he told me, I asked him, so what are they paying you on a breakdown? He was new. He was like, what are they paying you for being stuck? He didn't know that he could get paid for getting stuck. So I was like, why don't you call your DM and ask him? He calls the DM. We're sitting in this Pohonk, this little diner. Calls, come to find out, he gets paid $75 a day for breakdown. He bought me lunch or dinner or whatever you want to call it, because he didn't even know to ask. He didn't even know to ask. And I'm telling you something I know. Listen, a closed mouth don't get fed, especially in trucking. If you don't ask for detention, they're not going to give it to you. If you don't ask for hold up pay, they're not going to give it to you. You don't ask for breakdown pay, they're not going to give it to you. Did you know you could get trailer weight pay? If most tankers people get that, they're not going to give it to you. Tanker people who do food grade, they get trailer wash pay. They're not going to give it to you if you don't ask for it. And your check's going to be nothing. And you're going to be pissed off. Okay? Now, we got to move on to the other Gouda Glanger. Why I say 2,500, Trucker Brian? I do 3,700 a week. There's going to be some type of a jigaboo that's going to jump in there and say that. Okay? I call them a jigaboo because that's what they are. The fact that you needed to say that makes you a jigaboo. Now, what I will say is this. You have to build up your stamina. All right? You have to understand your clock and how it works. All right? You have to look at your drive shift with ways to shave off anything that stops the truck. When you curate or you shave down, because right now, look at your drive shift as a real fatted piece of meat, right? And the only thing you get paid for is the meat. All the fat is waste. You're just losing money with the fat. You're trying to shave off the fat for it to be all meat, but all money. Okay? Now let's talk about a couple of the fat things that we're going to deal with here, honestly. Stopping because you're bored. Yeah. Rookies, I know you're doing that. You're bored, so you stop, just look around. Or you find the reason to stop. You don't even know why you stop it. You stop going, just buy something. Stopping because you're bored hurts you because, number one, every time you stop the truck, you push your arrival time back as long as you stop the truck. Okay? And some of you, and I'm about to be talking, if you're going to feel like I'm talking to you like we're in church, some of you going in here for 16 to 30 minutes. Especially if they gave you a loosey-goosey load with a drop and hook on both ends, and you feel like, I don't got to be there, I can just waste time. Which is a wrong move, because if you get there early, that's as fast as you get reloaded, and that's how you get paid. So you're really burning your money. So don't do that. So stopping for no reason. Now, stopping for no reason, that promotes you eating more, snacking more, spending more of that money, which you as a company driver don't make. You don't make no kind of money. So ain't no point in you going there spending $80 a week buying gadgets and just what my boy Troy calls cock gazing. That's what he calls stopping for no reason. He call it cock gazing. Just going in there cock gazing, you just burning money you don't got for nothing. You have no reason to be doing that. You understand? So you shave that off. Stop stopping. Tell yourself, I'm going to start driving. I'm going to run 4 hours flat. I'm going to stop to take a whiz for no longer than 8 minutes. Then I'm going to get back in the truck, run the rest of my 4 hours. It's going to hit to my 8-hour break. That's when you're going to do your 30-minute. Now, if you're real good at this, you will time your fuel consumption to be fueled during that 30-minute window. So you're not taking, we'll call it 16 minutes to fuel your truck during the 8-hour drive and make money time. You understand? That's if you're a wizard with it. So you're going to look at your fuel in a certain way and say, I only fuel either during my 10-hour break or my 30-minute break. I do not fuel during the time I'm supposed to be moving the truck to make money. So since I have to government regulated stop at the end of this 8 hours, I'm going to throw my fuel in there. Now listen, that's a little cloudy because listen, technically you're supposed to be on duty during this time. I'm not telling you what to do. I'm just telling you what people do. I have nothing to do with it, all right? But a lot of the guys, especially these guys on paper, they are not using none of their 14-hour or during their drive time to put fuel in the truck. That's another little bit of fat they shaving off to try to squeeze in more miles in there. You see what I'm saying? So you got to get the Gouda Glanja. If you're not trying to get the Gouda Glanja, you ain't making no money. Now, there is a dance that you play in trucking between, I don't want to call it illegal because they just throw rules out there, between the regulation they put on us and what's conducive to you making money. Depending on how much of a cowboy or super trucker you are is how willing you are to flirt with said line. You understand? So there's dudes who always use their personal conveyance to get another hour of driving. That will catch up to you. Some days you need that extra 30 minutes to make it in because you miss shot by 30 minutes. But doing it all the time, they will catch you for that. So don't get liberal with it. But that's the thing. Okay, he probably was on time 2 times and fit. They gave him a couple impossible loads that paid well. He fit that in. He made a banging check off of that. And you're wondering, how do I make money in trucking? You listen, bro, it is what it is. It's one of them winks, it's one of them nods that you get where it's like, what are you gonna do? You know what I'm saying? That's up to you because you can play with that line, but if you fall over it and popos catch you, they are gonna get in that sweet meat. You better know it. Cheeks gonna be open. So that's one of them situations you gotta figure that out. All right, now, if you're making this money, this money is coming in, you've shaved off that fat. Another thing you're doing is you're not stopping. You try, and I emphasis on try. There's another layer of fat we're about to take off. You try to sleep either at the shipper or close enough to personally conveyance in and not affect your clock to unload or load. This will not happen every time. It may happen, what are you going to do? 36% of the time. But that 36% of the time is money. Shave a little bit of fat off the bone. You see what I'm saying? We're just shaving a little fat off the bone. I'm trying to put you down. I'm really trying to put you down right now. Because you're a rookie. You're a flatback sweet meat rookie. And all these layers of fat is on your piece of meat. You don't know. A lot of y'all are too into the rules. Because you think somehow that makes you a better trucker. And it don't. And some of y'all just get away with the rule and just go around the rules completely. Somehow you think that makes you a super or better trucker, and it doesn't. It's a fine line in the middle. It's more of like a mumba. It's a dance. Forget about it. You got to dance with it. You got to know when and how and what place. And some states you can get away, some states you can't. All that. Is it a blitz? What's going on? Woody woo. Am I driving night? Now listen, another piece of the bone you do is some dudes purposely drive nights. And you're thinking, why would someone purposely drive nights? If he drives nights, he has relatively no city stop. What is city stop, Trucker Brown? All right, listen. You're driving to Virginia, right? From Florida. All right? Where you're at in Florida, it's about 557 miles from where you at in Florida to get to Atlanta. You're trying to get to Virginia. Now, experienced person would say, I got to get past Atlanta so I don't have to wake up in the morning and deal with Atlanta. So he's going to start his day and he's going to time it this many hours. So instead of leaving 6 o'clock in the morning, he may not, instead of leaving 6 o'clock in the morning, he may not leave to 9-ish, 10-ish. You see what I'm saying? That's going to put him in the position to run through Atlanta at night after everybody's got home from their jobs. And it's just straight through it. Or he knows in his mind, I'm not stopping the truck till I'm past Atlanta. A rookie will say, I got time on this load. I'm either going to stop in Atlanta, which is double dumb, or I'm going to stop a couple miles before it. Because they have places I like to eat. I'm going to chill. Maybe you got a little spot in the lorry down there. You want to go see a little girl or whatever. Holler at her, get a little butt cheeks. I did it between my 10-hour break, Trucker Brian. I didn't lose no money. Wrong. You lost money. You know why? Because you went down there. You got that sweet meat, that sugar butt. You got down there. You had fun. You woke up the next day. Probably woke up 8 o'clock. Got finished, got on the road, drove 32 miles, bam, smack dab in the middle of Atlanta traffic. And it has been known to slow you down between 2 and 4 hours of burning your 14-hour, burning your drive line, right? That's how much you just burned your money. When you could have just went right past Atlanta and you could have woke up and had clear road. That's a rookie mistake. That's fat on the bun. You see what I'm saying? That's a lot of fat on the bun. All right, now listen. I'm trying to make you make a couple extra dollars. You feel me? For my company cats. This will be first seen on Patreon. All right? My Patreon people getting this first. I'm looking so delicious and immaculate because I just got the iPhone 10 and the camera's off the hook. So tell me in the comments if the camera looks better than the Android. Let me know. If the microphone is better than the Android. Is the overall experience better than the Android? Let me know. If not, I'll go back to the Android. Forget about it. You feel me? Now listen. This is just part 1 of stage 1. All right? I am going to stop this and continue on, which is going to be part 2 of stage 1. And I'm going to be posting all this on Patreon today. That is the benefit of being on Patreon. When I'm satisfied that my Patreon people have seen it and ingested it and asked me questions and all that things, then I'm going to post it on YouTube. Could be weeks or months later. That's why it pays to be on Patreon. Don't do drugs. Don't drink alcohol. Stay celibate. And listen, get to the money. This is Trucker Brown. You have made it to the top trucking channel of the world. This is where you should be. There's no way you have a CDLs and you're not signed here. Tell everybody you know Trucker Brown. Dig it down, out of town. I'm out.